Cyberpunk 2077, the biggest L Poland has taken since World War II. Some would in fact say, even worse. Unlike the Second World War though, they managed to turn this one round with patch 1.5, aka the next gen update. If I was going to jump back into this game though, I was going to need more than overreacting about water physics, or the fact that you could shred it in your own apartment. I needed storytelling, I needed investment, I needed action, I needed emotion, I needed a really thick plotline. So this is no ordinary Cyberpunk next gen video. This is the story of boy meets girl. Before I go meet the love of my life though, there's a few things I need to take care of. The first of which is seeing if they added the feature to beat kids in the next gen update, which I can unfortunately confirm they did not. Being restricted of the ability to not beat up children is so Xbox One. This isn't truly next gen. I then get a mysterious text from someone called Meredith asking me to meet them at the No-Tell Motel. I haven't played this game for so long that I don't actually remember who they are, but if we're meeting at the No-Tell Motel, I've got a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. Well, at least I thought I did until we started having intercourse. This just completely caught me off guard. I thought we were here to talk about our feelings, but no, I've just been used for sex and now probably have syphilis. I am of course assuming there, but she doesn't come off like a good Christian woman who's just lost her virginity. When it's all said and done, I go to text my dad to ask if he's proud of me that I just had sex, but remember, he doesn't love me and I don't even have his number. On the bright side though, I do find a dildo that I can use as a melee weapon, which has a bonus chlamydia-tipped bell end for those extra toxic damage stats. I give it a quick whirl, and it's surprisingly good at getting the job done. By that I mean killing people, but I would also imagine it's good at getting the job done in other ways too. It's really opened my eyes to how this could actually save your life. Next time someone breaks into my house, if I can't find a weapon in my immediate vicinity, I'll reach for the dildo. That's enough messing around though. It was time to put the sex toys behind us and discover true love. You see, I've got to commit a good old-fashioned kidnapping, but to do it, I need to do it in an area just outside of Night City. I need help from someone who's a local to the outer city, and that's where Panam comes into play. Upon laying eyes on Panam, I just knew she had to be the one. I could hear First Day of My Life by Bright Eyes playing in my head. Not only is she sufficiently thick, but she's also an expert with cars, so she's breaking down all kind of gender stereotypes. We managed to strike a deal where I'll help her get her old car back and she'll help me kidnap this corpo dude. Really seems like Panam drew the short end of the stick here. I mean, she's going from car theft to literal human abduction, but if she's in, I'm in. We've known each other 5 minutes, but she already takes me back to her little wholesome community outside of the city and introduces me to her besties Mitch and Scorpion. I can't help but notice Mitch's rapidly receding hairline. It's 2077, Chief. Surely you can just get a new hairline installed at a Repadoc. Who, in a world where you can choose to look like anything you desire, chooses to look like that neighbour that your parents tell you to stay away from when you're playing outside as a kid? She even takes me back to her bedroom, which is cozy, but it's also just a tent with no door. So that's going to make smashing her a little bit more awkward while making eye contact with her family as they're trying to eat dinner. One time when I was at my ex's, she was giving me a handy under the blanket and her dad just walked in without even knocking. Her reaction for some reason was to keep her hand where it was, so having to talk to her dad while having a hand around my erect peen was definitely one of the more awkward moments of my life. We set off on our way to repossess Panam's stolen car, and I ask if she can make a quick detour through Mackey's because a Big Mac sounds like the perfect fuel for the mission ahead. We pull up to this abandoned town where we know the car will be passing through, so we scout out the location. I find this dead woman on top of the gas station, but V just seems to breeze over the fresh body like it's a normal thing to see on a gas station roof. We set a trap to turn on the power as the boys roll through to distract them so I can sneak in and steal the car. This was supposed to be a no casualties mission, but I just start popping heads to prove to Panam I'm a king who will kill those that have done her dirty. There's two kinds of people in this world. Giga Chads who take control of the situation, and those who play healer on Overwatch, happy to take the backseat bitch role. I get Panam's car back and hand her the driver's seat, hoping that now it's time for the Mackey's detour. But no, she wants to go and get her revenge and kill this dude Nash, who was the one that stole the car in the first place. I'm not really one to commit unnecessary murder, but if it increases our chances of smashing, I'm in. These guys have set up base in a big cave, which cannot be good for their vitamin D levels. I really hope their employer allows them to have 30-minute lunch breaks to take in some daily sun. Nash and his crew are pretty psychotic, and it's an absolute shit show down here, but when it comes to it, I take out Nash by smacking my dildo over his head multiple times, causing severe blunt force trauma. Who knows, maybe with Panam I might be able to use this for more than just brutal murder. A lot of fellas are afraid to use toys in the bedroom because they fear their woman will end up liking the toy more than them. But honestly guys, you can't let that scare you. Who cares if it's 2 times the size of you and she calls it Tyrone? As long as she still loves you, that's what truly matters, right? Right? So we meet a few shady dudes and Panam gives them a crate full of, presumably, assorted baking goods so they can get their cupcake business off the ground. And after a hard day's graft, we hit the bar and Panam orders a beer, so you know she has some daddy issues. If a girl chooses to drink beer, she's only trying to fill a void left by her father, because even as a dude, no one actually likes beer. We just drink it because it's an expectation. Fellow men, we need to band together and start normalizing ordering a sex on the beach or pink gin with lemonade rather than having to pretend that Budweiser is a refreshing beverage. We book a hotel and I met with the option to ask about getting one room instead of two, but I feel it's too soon for that. Panam seems like the kind of person who would get scared if things move too fast, so I've got to play the long game here. I do, however, walk her to her room, but I'm not sure she even knew that I was walking her to her room because she keeps a 15 feet distance from me and falls asleep as soon as we get to the room. Looking at it now, it's a good thing I did get my own room, because look, it's 2 single beds, so we would have been sleeping like a Christian couple before marriage. I quickly use the shitter, because she's asleep and won't know any better, and give myself a long hard look in the mirror, reminding myself that I'm a certified lover boy. How could she not want this? I have a quick fab thinking about Panam, and then get a few hours kip before waking up at midnight to execute this kidnapping. Panam has come up with a big plan to override a power station, setting off an EMP and wiping out the vehicle carrying my target. Why did I just say vehicle like that? What the fuck? Wow, I came to her because, maybe she could help me get to know the area a little bit better, teach me a few roads that I could take, but no, she's here devising an entire plan that involves an EMP. She's really making her way to wifey material. We pull up onto a hill with a view of the city, and while this may seem like the perfect time for a movie-esque first kiss, I also don't want to make the move too soon, as I've made that mistake before. You see, I was in Tesco's getting some shopping, and the cashier asked if I wanted to pay card or cash, so I leaned in and smooched the middle-aged dude right there at the till. Anyway, apparently he wasn't hinting towards that and reported me, so now I'm banned from Tesco. But the dude still texts me occasional dick pics, so I'm not really sure it's confusing. I set off the EMP, taking down the vehicle transporting my target, but obviously it has generated a lot of attention from the locals. Mitch and Scorpion move in on its position, not knowing it's a highly guarded corpo vehicle, so I have to make it there before they get themselves killed. I arrive at the crash, ready to dominate the scene with my bright pink LMG, because when you're on a murderous rampage, it's not only about how it makes you feel, it's about looking good doing it too. I open up the vehicle and Mitch is being held hostage, so I use my excellent negotiation skills to calmly resolve the situation and make sure no one else unnecessarily dies. That is until Panam just shoots the dude in the face. Honestly though, if Mitch had have died, I wouldn't have been that devastated personally, because it's one less dick on the equation to deal with. I mean, I'm saying all this and I don't even know if Panam's straight. She could be sexually attracted to cars. I mean, it's 2077. I'm sure being sexually attracted to inanimate objects is normalised by now. If Panam doesn't want me, I'm gonna go back to my apartment and fuck the shit out of my toaster, because Russell Hobbs has really stepped up its game. I'll skip over the next part because it contains some main story spoilers, and I know the game came out over a year ago, but some people are only just now jumping in for the first time or are getting back into the game after the recent patch, so I don't want to ruin anything massive. So we return to V back in Night City, not knowing if we'll hear from Panam again. I tried to fill that void by working with the mayor and his wife in what I initially thought was going to be a cuckold situation, but no. It turns out they just wanted me to solve a murder. Disappointed to say the least. Which is why when I got that call from Panam that the leader of their nomad clan, Saul, had gone missing, I abandoned this murder investigation and headed straight over. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, so if I don't make the most of this opportunity, we might never see Panam again. It turns out that Saul was taken by a group of people called the Raffians, who are a local gang to Panam's nomads. Kind of like the Bloods and Crips, but without the racial oppression and cocaine dealing, so I guess nothing like the Bloods and Crips. I'm gonna have to use a trust me bro card here, because the footage goes from me pulling up to save Saul, to me suddenly then being able to free him. Basically, due to the recent storms in the UK, I had a power cut when I was recording this, lost 3 hours of footage, and also got loaded back into this point of the game, so I was actually way ahead of where you're seeing now. The UK is so shit at dealing with any weather that's not light rain and mild wind. I mean, it rains too much, everything floods. It's too windy, trees fall over, and houses get ripped apart. It's too hot, you accidentally leave your baby brother in the car with no windows down and he dies from overheating. It's such an inconvenience. So we have Saul, but there's a sandstorm, so we pull up and stay at this abandoned hut for the night, where Panam and I share a drink, and she puts her feet on me, and we take our shoes off. Things are moving fast. I then tell her her wishes are command, but she says to be careful, and then falls asleep, leaving me really badly blue-balled. I mean, I thought this was actually going somewhere tonight. Now I'm just gonna have to go have a wank in the shower. It's not the same. It's the morning, and my job here is done. We have a quick chat on the steps while the sun rises, and we say our goodbyes. But just before Panam sets off, it finally happens.
Hold up. About last night.
We don't need to talk about that. I'm just not like that.
So what are you like?
More like this.
It's happened, boys. We finally did it. She likes us. She really likes us. From here on, I'm just willing to do anything for Panam. I help her and her nomads steal a corpo vehicle, while during the setup we have a heart-to-heart, and she tells me she gets scared to act on impulses with me. so I touch her arm and tell her to go for it next time. We then crack some bevies with the boys, sit around the fire, play some guitar and cuddle while gazing at the stars. She even cracks a shitty joke about the stars, and that's when I know it's love. We both have business to attend to though, we both have lives to get on with, so we go our separate ways, and I'm left wondering if that is it. I return to my apartment to cry and also smoke an excessive amount. I mean, just look at my man V, he's such an alpha, he doesn't even exhale when he's smoking. I also try to treat my sadness by getting some new drip. I buy a hat which makes me look like Louise from Bob's Burgers, but I'm sure Panam will still think I'm a sexy boy. Speaking of Panam, we finally get the call we've been waiting for. She asks if I want to take this new tank we stole for a wee spin, and of course I'm like, yeah, because tanks are cool, but spending time with her is way cooler. We hop in with her as my co-pilot. We both jack into the system, and what that does is link us together so we can now feel exactly what the other person feels for optimal piloting of this bad boy. You know what else is great for though, apart from piloting? It also makes for a great opportunity to bang, as nothing feels better than literally feeling your own penis inside of you when you're having sex. I mean, what? It's a beautiful, romantic moment. I mean, not only have we filled our objective to smash Panam, but we found true love along the way. Unfortunately, I still have some business to attend to, so I can't move into her little camp and meet her parents, although I'm pretty sure she doesn't have any, that's why she lives in an outcast nomad camp, but still, it's heartbreaking nonetheless. We kiss, we say our goodbyes, and I genuinely felt upset watching her walk away, like actually playing the game, like not speaking as I'm role-playing V, speaking as me playing the game, watching her walk away, it was actually heartbreaking. Panam has taken top spot. She is my favourite romance option in any video game, ever. She's the best character. Genuinely thinking of leaving my 5-year relationship to just hook myself up into VR and experience the world with Panam. Thank you guys for watching, I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like. Cyberpunk is actually incredible now, and a big thank you, as always, to those of you who have clicked the join button and become a member of the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. I just want to give a massive shout out to my motherload Voiy Bois and above, Gerardo Cruz, Björn van den Hatter, TheGamerTeg, zyfin Productions. Thank you guys for your support.